welcome to the explainer. So close your eyes for a second and just picture a human skeleton. What do you see? If you're like most people, you're probably picturing, a dusty museum exhibit, a dry, rigid, basically lifeless scaffold that just exists to hold us upright. Well, prepare to have that illusion completely shattered today. In this explainer, we are going to fundamentally redefine how you view your own bones. Because right underneath that hard exterior, there is a vibrant, bustling metropolis of cellular activity happening at this very exact second. 10%. Think about that number. Nearly 10% of your entire skeleton is completely replaced every single year. You are constantly getting a new skeleton, piece by microscopic piece. It's this endless biological renovation project happening inside you right now, keeping your structural foundation strong and resilient. Okay, let's quickly look at our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover bone as a living organ. Then we'll meet the construction crew, walk through the 5-step cycle, take a peek into the molecular control room, and finally, wrap up with shifting the balance. Section 1. Bone, a living organ, a highly dynamic tissue. Consider this quote for a moment. At this very moment, specialized cells are breaking down old bone while others build new bone. It gives you a real sense of awe, doesn't it? Your bone is a highly dynamic, connective tissue. And sure, yes, it provides structural support, muscle attachment, and it protects our vital organs. But it does so much more than that. Your bones are essentially a massive mineral storage vault for things like calcium and phosphate. They're actually the site of hematopoiesis, which is the creation of your blood cells. They even perform vital endocrine functions, pumping out hormones like osteocalcin that actually influence your entire body. It is an incredibly busy tissue. Moving to Section 2, the construction crew. Let's look at the bone cells. So who exactly is doing all this work? Well, first up, we have the osteoclasts. You can think of these guys as the demolition crew. These are fascinating cells derived from the monocyte and macrophage lineage, so they're essentially specialized immune cells. And their entire job? Bone resorption. When they get to work, they attach themselves directly to the bone and create this sealed-off little compartment called a house ship lacuna. Then they literally secrete hydrochloric acid to dissolve the hard, crystallized hydroxyapatite, and they release an enzyme called cathepsin K to just chew up and digest the collagen protein matrix. They are basically highly efficient biological wrecking balls. But you can't just demolish a site. You have to rebuild it. Enter the osteoblasts, the builders. Now, these cells have a totally different origin, rising from mesenchymal stem cells. Their job is to synthesize brand new bone matrix. They lay down type 1 collagen, which we call osteoid, and then they secrete this enzyme called alkaline phosphatase, which promotes the mineralization of that brand new matrix. They're out there pouring the foundation and laying the bricks for fresh, strong bone. But how do the builders and the demolition crew actually know where they're supposed to go? That brings us to our third cell, the osteocyte. Think of them as the foreman of the construction site. What's really wild is that osteocytes are actually former osteoblasts that ended up getting trapped and embedded inside the very mineralized bone they were building. From deep inside that bone matrix, they act as the master regulators. They're mechanosensors. They literally feel the mechanical stress you put on your bones when you go for a walk or lift weights, and they release chemical signals to coordinate the whole remodeling operation based on exactly where the bone needs to be stronger. Section 3, the 5-step cycle. Let's map out this bone remodeling process. This lifelong process is just beautifully orchestrated. And to remember it, there's a really sticky mnemonic you can use, ARRFM. It all starts with activation. This is when microdamage or hormonal signals tell the osteocytes to wake up the osteoclast precursors. Step 2 is resorption, where our demolition crew moves in and dissolves the old bone. Step 3 is reversal, which is this crucial transitional phase where macrophage-like cells clean up the worksite and release growth factors to call in the builders. Step 4 is formation, where the osteoblasts arrive and pour that new type I collagen matrix. And finally, step 5 is mineralization, where the calcium and phosphate crystallize to harden that new bone. ARRFM. But keep in mind the pacing here because it's completely lopsided. Destroying bone is fast. The resorption phase by those osteoclasts, that only takes about 2 to 4 weeks. But rebuilding, that takes serious time. The formation phase by the osteoblasts takes several months, and the final mineralization, where the bone fully crystallizes and hardens into mature lamellar bone, that can take months to even years. It is infinitely faster for your body to tear down bone than it is to build it back up. All right, Section 4, the molecular control room. Let's look at how we regulate remodeling. So, what keeps this whole system from just spiraling out of control? Well, there's a really delicate tug of war happening constantly inside you. It all comes down to a communication pathway called the rank-L OPG system. It's essentially the accelerator and the brakes for bone demolition. Rank-L is the accelerator. It's a molecule produced by the builders, the osteoblast lineage, that binds to receptors on osteoclasts and tells them, hey, multiply and start destroying bone. But to prevent overdestruction, the body also produces osteoprotegerin, or OPG. OPG acts as the brakes. It's a decoy receptor that intercepts and binds up the rank-L before it can ever reach the osteoclasts. Your bone density at any given moment is determined entirely by this balance between rank-L, the accelerator, and OPG, the brakes. And that delicate balance doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's heavily influenced by outside systemic factors and hormones circulating through your body. Things like parathyroid hormone and vitamin D heavily influence how calcium is absorbed and how these cells activate. Calcitonin acts as a sort of minor inhibitor of the demolition crew. But arguably, one of the absolutely most important systemic regulators is estrogen. Estrogen naturally reduces rank-L activity, so it effectively keeps your foot off the accelerator and maintains your bone mass. This is exactly why the loss of estrogen after menopause significantly accelerates bone remodeling, leading to a net loss of bone mass. Finally, Section 5, Shifting the Balance. Let's explore the clinical outcomes. So, what actually happens clinically when this cellular communication breaks down? To understand this, let's look at a clinical case straight from our source material. Imagine a 65-year-old postmenopausal woman. She slips, falls, and fractures her wrist. A bone scan reveals a T-score of -2.8, which means her bone density is very low. She asks her doctor, if my bone can heal after a fracture, why do I still have osteoporosis? Which is a brilliant question. The thing is, osteoporosis isn't a failure of bone repair, it's a failure of bone remodeling. It is simply a state where the demolition crew is working way faster than the builders. Resorption exceeds formation, leading to fragile bones. Contrast this with something like Paget's disease, where the remodeling is just completely disorganized, leading to excessive but structurally abnormal bone growth. But here's the good news. Because we understand the cellular and molecular machinery so incredibly well today, modern medicine can actually step in and hack the system to restore the balance. We use very specific pharmacological tools. Anti-resorptive drugs like denosumab work by literally mimicking OPG. They bind up that rankle and slam the brakes on the demolition crew. On the flip side, anabolic drugs like teriparatide go straight to the osteoblasts and stimulate them to build more bone. And newer dual-action therapies like romosozumab can actually do both at the same time, increasing bone formation while simultaneously reducing bone resorption. We are quite literally manipulating the construction site managers to rebuild a failing foundation. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to think about everything we've just uncovered. Think about those osteoclasts dissolving old tissue with acid, the osteoblasts diligently laying down fresh collagen, and the osteocytes just quietly directing traffic deep inside your skeleton. All of this is happening, perfectly orchestrated, without you even realizing it. So I leave you with this one thought. What microscopic renovation project is your skeleton building right at this very second? Keep that in mind the next time you take a step or lift a weight. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and keep asking questions about the incredible machinery inside